Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Aubrey Niemeyer, and today I will be doing a video demonstration of my fourth portfolio project. The first half of this video is going to be literally just a walkthrough. I'll show you the features. And then the second half, I will break down some of the code and some of the technology that's going on behind the scenes. So obviously you can see that this is a calendar web app. And I will just get started and show you how everything works. Let's create an event so you guys can see this in action. So I'll just put this on the 4th. And what we will see here is I'm about to click this button, so the create event, and instead of a brand new page showing up and a page reload and the URL showing, instead of all that, with the power of JavaScript and JSON API, we will just see the content render immediately on the correct square. Like, it'll just show up right as soon as I click this button without any page reload or anything, which is just really user-friendly. So you see right here, that was one of the requirements for the project, was to build in JavaScript and use Ajax to render content dynamically on the page. It's really a subtle difference, but it just makes the website feel a lot smoother and more responsive. And I've implemented that technology in a couple different places. So obviously I just showed you in the event form, it renders dynamically. Also, when you click on one of these buttons to get the description of the event, that renders dynamically without a page reload either. See how it just showed up there really quickly? That's really nice. And these are all buttons right here, clickable links. Same thing goes for here when we have a task associated with the birthday party and we click the to-do list, we will see all the related events pop up right away without a page reload. Nothing is showing up right now because I don't have any tasks, but I will just make something up. So we just created the task, the form emptied, which is nice. And then when we click to do, it just showed up right there really quickly. No new URL, no page reload. So that's just kind of makes the whole website feel a lot more seamless. The last place that we have that technology implemented here is on the See Your Weekly report, where we just quickly can get a list of all the events going on in the next calendar days. Anyways, that is the basics of the actual calendar feature. I will show you quickly the login system because there are some nice features there. Right now I'm just logged in with my own unique profile, but if I wanted to, if I was a brand new user, you could log in with Google. This is using the OmniAuth Ruby gem, and so it's taking me to this link asking for permission, and I'll give it permission from Google, and it just logged me in really nicely. I don't have any data on this, so that's why it's blank, but you can see that I've logged in into a separate user profile. Anyways, that's it for the first portion. Now I'm going to kind of go back into the technology aspect of this and show you the code working behind the scenes. So I'm going to log into, actually first what I'm going to do is seed the database with some more data for the month. So I'm just going to end the server here. Okay, so it just seeded the database. We added a bunch of like fake events here. So I'll launch the server again. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, the requirements of this project were to implement JavaScript and a JSON API so that the content renders dynamically. And what I'm going to do now is just show you how that technology works in the code and in the browser. So I think the best example to show you is on this new event form. So I've already showed you how it just renders really quickly, but what I'm going to do is throw in some debuggers in the code so we can kind of see this happening in action. Okay, so this function, this JavaScript function right here is basically in charge of hijacking that form and then sending information back to the browser without the page reload. And so I've just uncommented and put some debuggers in here so that we can stop and see this in action in the browser. So what we're doing right here at the very beginning is the browser is listening for when we submit that form, when we submit the new event form. And the very first thing that we do with the event, that's this argument here, is we say prevent default, which means do not actually submit the form the way that we normally stop in your tracks and do this instead. And so the first thing that we do is we grab the values that are in the form. Like we grab specifically like what I typed in here, the date, all those things. We grab those values and we serialize them, which means that we're taking the Ruby objects and we're turning them into, we're converting them into JavaScript object notation objects, which is just a different data format. That sounds like really complicated language, but it just means that it's translating the data into a slightly different format called JSON. But I will just show you in the browser really quick what that looks like. So we will open up the console. We just say we're going to work. All right, so as soon as I click this button, we will see the function in here. So the first thing that we're going to look at is actually the Ruby controller action, because when we make this, this right here is the Ajax request, and this is saying we're making a request to the events URL, which routes to the create action in the event controller. And what's happening in the event controller is we're creating the event. This is where all the information is getting saved to the database. And we say if the event saves, send it back to the browser as JSON. So I'm just going to quickly show you what the difference between this right here is the Ruby object, but what we send back to the browser is JSON. So I'm just going to quickly show you the differences. So we've paused right here at this pry, and the event Ruby object looks like this. It has almost 10 different attributes, created at, updated at, description, etc. And then when we convert it to JSON, just so you can quickly see what that looks like, all the information is still there. It's just been translated into a different data format. And quickly just note how we have still all those almost 10 different attributes, pieces of information related to the event. So now we'll go and check it out in the browser. So right here we have made the Ajax request. I just showed you the Ruby object we created. And we are saying And so now we're giving instructions to the browser of what to do with that JSON that has just been sent back. And we say that when you're done making the request, grab the unordered list item, which is all these calendar days, and append that new event. But what I really want to show you here is that instead of working with that Ruby object, which had 10 or so attributes, we have sent a slimmer version via JSON to the browser. And so I'm going to show you this event here that we have in the browser, that what we'll be working with from now on in this function. It's simplified. It's in JavaScript object notation still, but instead of all those 10 attributes, we only have the information that we specifically asked for and need. And we're doing that because it's easier to work with data and send it. We're limiting the amount of data that's being sent across the browser, which makes things faster for the user. And so these attributes that we have to work with, I have specified specifically that I only care about these attributes. And I did that in the event serializer here, where I have told the Ruby that these are the only objects, these are the only attributes I want you to render in JSON when we're converting the Ruby object. Only these: the ID, the title, the date, and the description, and the task, because that's all we care about for the purposes of immediately putting that event on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and press play in this debugger, and we'll see the rest of the actions carried out. Basically, all we're doing is we're grabbing this event day right here, which is this div, and we're adding the event information. And then the rest of the function is really simple. We're just clearing the form and enabling this button to work again. So I'll just press play so you can see it. We're going to see the event pop right up on the 5th here. See? All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by to check out this video demo. I will be linking the GitHub repository in the description of this video, and you guys can feel free to head over there, check it out, download the app, and play with it if you'd like. Thanks again. Bye.